maybe
See?
all writing is responses to experiences like this. Do you think?
I think it's a big part for me, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you
She
ever
made a big impression.
just written just about her?
When I was younger, well, I was always sort of abstract. My abstraction is, I'd say, not as far as some people take it.
Mm,
I think I'm somewhat grounded in a narrative,
mm,
even in poetry to some extent, although it's quite lingual.
yeah.
But I would say that there are much further registers of abstraction.
Mm.
Uh, and at a certain point, it becomes not good. And
Becomes
it's
too
very hard
abstract.
to, what's it?
It becomes too abstract.
Becomes just error, yeah.
Right.
All over the page. I'm not a fan of language poetry, meaning not language in general, but the specific language movement. L equals A equals,
Right.
and if you've ever seen that, uh, where it's just beyond postmodern critical
Right.
theory writing,
Right.
super dry, super abstract, super sub floral, but
Right.
not in a good way.
Right.
I like a controlled elegance.
Yeah.
Or well, no, I like a fucked up elegance, but I mean, I also like elegance in general.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
fucked up, so my shit isn't very elegant. But you see what
it's
I'm saying?
elegant. I think it's elegant. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil genius mode, but
Yeah.
there's a sonic quality to your lines, I feel like. And
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I'd say evil. The genius part, I don't know, but yeah, evil.
Yeah. Um, and you mentioned this in this one review I was looking at, but what's your connection to Lish?
I've just studied Lish. A
You
girl
studied
I
Lish.
was living with was a former student,
Okay.
but I never met him.
Okay.
I
And
studied his methods. His methods are essentially, modernism plus Beckett plus Dennis Donahue,
mm,
as a form of consecution, etc.
okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't make the connection to Beckett.
Well, I just mean that type of condensed minimalism,
Of course, the minimalism and the repetition. Yeah,
But yeah.
that
The
makes sense.
refractored line.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I gotta reread Beckett with that in mind. That's interesting.
It's all over
Um,
Beckett, yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and it's all
Um,
over the modernists in the 20s as well.
yeah, yeah. That decade's important.
Yeah, amazing decade for
Yeah,
literature.
yeah. Um, nice. Um, damn. So you were teaching some classes on different writers, or who are the writers you know enough to teach about?
I've studied a lot in my 10 years of solitude, but I have my preferences, but they wouldn't let me teach my preferences.
What are your
I find it,
preferences?
what's it?
Oh, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. I
My
didn't mean to cut
preference.
you off.
Well, I believe the book, say, George Saintsbury's book about rhetoric and literature.
Yeah.
The fact that this was never taught to me, I find disgusting. I
Mm,
was not taught anything. There are a lot of greats, Lorgan, Pearsall, Smith, these
mm,
guys from the mid to early 1900s.
mm.
The guys who were combating the enforced, I'm going to say, nationwide minimalism of E.B. White and the
Okay.
elements of style.
Okay.
This insistence that the most simple line is the best line. Now, a
Okay.
simple line can be great, but I'm saying that it shouldn't be mandate
Right.
for quality.
Right.
I think there's a range, and I appreciate a range of work. Most people are more dogmatic than me,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like a range. I enjoy a range. I mean, I enjoy
Yeah.
reading a range of different styles.
Yeah. Me too.
Good, because it's not very common these days.
Yeah.
But it's mostly dogmatic these days.
Mm.
But uh,
So they were resisting that type of
there was a
plainness.
great resistance, and it's been buried. They lost.
Mm.
They lost hardcore, but I dug them up, by God, for my
Yeah.
own for my own use.
Yeah.
Now I didn't get to teach that. I didn't get to that stage where I wasn't allowed that far.
Yeah.
but because I was younger when I was allowed in there. But but I could teach a class. But I mean, some of these fucking teachers don't go okay. Don't, you know, some of these goddamn. I mean, in big places too. Very
Yeah.
pathetic shit.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
teach a class, but not to be conceited, but I mean, not that I'm so great, but I mean, it's just so pathetic out there.
But you know a lot. You got a whole 10 years of solitude to draw from.
Yeah, it upped my my count of books in it, but not that that's necessarily necessary, but I just think it shouldn't be mandate the way it is
Right.
that writing is taught like a rubric,
Right.
and that rubric is well, the idea of the good taste of that rubric I find quite limiting
Right.
and poisonous, and perhaps one of the reasons that literature is nothing now.
Right.
You know,
What do you think the main elements of that rubric are?
well, it's something like it's something like you know the it's something like the elements of style, where it's just
Right.
the simplest line is the best line.
Right.
Kill your darlings.
Right.
Um, you know, uh, like subtle character study is the only
Yeah.
way to appeal to a reader, a
Right.
readability.
Right. Right.
Um, these things set as mandate very anti-poetic things
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, that seem to be most of the scene out there.
Right. Right. Yeah. In some sense, I think I was going for hyper readability with Fuckboy, and it was going against things in other ways, going against certain mainstream sensibilities in other ways. But I've been feeling like drawn to a certain density, and like we're got to bring back some of the more modernist 100 years ago energy.
There's variation in the book I noticed, and but alt lit is mostly the refractored sentence. I enjoy the refractored sentence expounded out of itself in the tautology of that.
Right.
But
You want to explain that real quick? That refracted sentence is that when you say something and then you repeat it slightly differently?
the centigraph that sort of the next line is elaborated
Right.
with repetition, right?
Right. Right.
And and often like extruded from the first line
Right.
in the Lishian sense.
Mm,
But and that was made popular by Noah Cicero and Tao Lin, etc.
right.
And that's the alt lit kind of register.
Right.
It's a very in the wheel of the wheel of prose by Hugh Blair, the Bell's letter system.
Okay.
It's a very there's dry that's like theory, just so plain as to be just technical writing.
Right. Right.
Then there's plain writing, that's the simple sentence. Then there's neat that kind of mixes it up with a little lingual torque. That's sort
Mm,
of minimalist Lishian vibe.
mm.
Then there's elegant, where it's very a lot of
Lord.
yeah. Well, the
Or no?
elegant, and then florid is the last one, right?
Oh, got you. Got you.
The elegant is in between florid and neat,
Got you. A
and
little more adorned, but not
yes,
quite
yes, a little more adorned,
full.
but still very straightforward in a way.
Yeah.
Florid starts to mix it up a little poety.
Yeah. Okay.
People don't like that. People don't
Yeah.
like that, and
Yeah.
it
I don't
can be
think
bad. It can be bad. I admit.
Keon didn't like that.
No, he didn't. That's why I wasn't as featured as.
Fair, fair, fair. Interesting. Yeah, because that was Gion's edits to me. Just if anything seems too poetic and gay, take it out.
He knew yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very
That was
Lishian
his
as well.
edits. Yeah. No, this
Lish
is
was
just
very
find all the
much in
gay
that.
parts and cut them out.
Yeah, right, right. That was very Lishian. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lish was also of that mode.
Right.
That's why, but I would argue that his best students took his techniques and made them more floral,
Yeah. I think,
and
yeah.
like Lutz and
Right. Right. Okay.
uh,
Interesting.
some of Evanson.
I like that, and some of Evanton. I like that framework of thinking about it. Um, And you feel like you fall more on the latter side of things.
I'm a there's a
But
little
you're
in
short and
between.
yeah,
Blair talks about a little in between elegance and florid called vehement,
hmm. Oh,
and
interesting.
it's sort of like an angry preacher screaming at you.
Angry preacher mode.
That's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have a I go rant mode. Go rant
yeah. I
mode.
like that.
That's a mode I have.
Yeah.
Do you like Matthias Enard? Do you ever read that guy?
I'm
He's a
not
French.
familiar, but
Okay, oh, he's a contemporary French writer. And then his first book, Zone,
Ozone, the long sentence.
The Long Sentence. Yeah, Brian Evanson intro
Right,
that.
right. No, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize that. I never said the name aloud.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
might not
great
be
book.
saying
Great book.
I might not be saying it right. Matthias Enard. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I just never. I don't know French very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the long sentence book.
The
Yeah,
Long
right.
Sentence. It's so yeah, it's so billowing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
That's a good example of what we're talking about. The elegant. Right.